How long have I been playing Magic? I've actually been playing Magic since I was 7 years old, so about 20 years now, if you can believe it.
Oh wow. So tell me a little about Magic as a whole, like community and everything.
Like the community and the game and
Yeah.
do I need to go over mechanics?
No, mechanics isn't necessary.
Okay, so just the game itself. Well, Magic is obviously, I learned at a very young age, and as far as how I feel about the game itself, I really like, I find it a lot more complex than other card games. Like I've played other card games in the past, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, even some Hearthstone, and Magic just has a depth and complexity to it that I haven't been able to really find in any other card game. And I think that's why, like, throughout the years, I've kept coming back to it, regardless of me dabbling in other games.
So tell me a little bit about your community interest in the game. What have you built any relationships using Magic? Or...
I've actually met a lot of people like that. It's actually a really good icebreaker. Like, I've made a lot of friends just through Magic, like going to events or just teaching people how to play the game who might be interested in it. It gives you something to talk about with someone you don't really know yet, but you might get to know them through it and be friends. I go to local game shops, and there was 2 of them in my hometown. I've been to both of them, and before the one closed down, and I actually know a lot of the people in that area from just playing Magic together.
Since we've been out here at school, have you done anything Magic related here?
I've actually been the treasurer of Magic the Gathering Club for 3 semesters, so I've done a lot of Magic related stuff just through the club. I mean, we've orchestrated many events. We hold pre-releases here every semester, which is a chance for people to get to play with the new cards coming out before they're officially released. We hold tournaments, that people from off campus come to participate in. We do a lot of good stuff through Magic for the students.
What would you say to somebody who's thinking about Magic? What would be a way to ease them into it, like verbally, not necessarily showing them?
As far as someone just looking to get into the game without explaining mechanics or anything, well, 1, I would say be prepared because it's an investment. 2, I would say you're not going to really find any other game like Magic out there. At least I haven't found any games that have the depth of mechanics that Magic has. You know what I mean? I've played Pokemon, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I mentioned this before as well, but they all seem like really straightforward to me by comparison, whereas Magic... Edit that out.
I'm going to.
Whereas Magic is a very, like I said, it's a very complex game. I find it a lot more complex, and the card, because it's been around so long too, I think what adds to that complexity is the card pool. There's tens of thousands of cards to the game, so you can do almost anything as far as the game is concerned. Like, card games usually revolve around archetypes. The amount of things you can do with just because of the sheer amount of cards available to you in Magic is unlike any other game I've ever played.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
So how long have you been into Magic?
I would say I have been in Magic for roughly 2 years now. I got in right after I came to our college.
Mm-hmm.
One of my roommates, which I got placed with coincidentally, was in the Magic the Gathering Club, and with that being said, he convinced me to come and just visit. I had played Yu-Gi-Oh, which is another card game, when I was a lot younger. I started when it first came out, and I enjoyed it very much so until they ruined it, but we don't talk about that. And with that being said, I really enjoyed that card game. I had a lot of fun memories, made a lot of good friends, so learning another one didn't seem all that too bad of a deal, so that was when I first started.
Oh, cool. How much would you say Magic is integrated into your life?
I really enjoy it. One of the things that it does get out is there's a lot of things to keep track of. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily something that is really, really important, but it does get me out a lot. It gets allowed me to make a lot of friends. I've actually made a lot of friends on campus through the Magic the Gathering Club, which was also really great. The card game itself brings me back to my childhood when I had a group we used to play with back in elementary school and even middle school, which was a really good experience, and I have learned a lot through both not only from the card game but also about people, and I've learned a lot how to multitask, which is another thing that I've learned a lot through the game.
So could you say that people learn like valuable life skills, like say they're not really like the most outgoing person?
Absolutely. One of the things that is really great, especially for someone who in some cases could be a shut-in, or someone who's nervous too, and doesn't know how to start a conversation with a person. You learn those kind of things when you're playing with other people, when you're learning how to play, when you're interacting with other people, because one of the implementations of Magic is that there's this thing called priority, or phases, and especially if you're playing in a multiplayer format or a multiplayer game, you have to acknowledge other people. You meet new people all the time, especially when you're playing something like that, because it's a very well-known game, and there are places almost in every city that host these kind of events, which you meet new people and you can interact with people that you may have never ever thought of before.
So would you say that Magic has enriched your social life in any way?
I would definitely say so, especially on campus. I am graduating this semester, and one of the great things about coming here and meeting all these great people is that I wouldn't have done any of that stuff if not for the Magic Club. And through them, I met more people that either with or weren't inside the club, and I feel that I got a really good social enrichment from being introduced and promptly the contacts I've made through the game.
Would you say that the stereotypical card game player is something that bothers you about Magic?
I guess stereotypical, or everyone's a little different. With any kind of card game, there comes a stigma that we all are unsociable or don't really want to talk to people, or in some cases completely inept or have no social skills. And that's not true at all. In some cases, I guess you have people that are just loners, and they'll always be loners, and they don't want to change because they feel comfortable in that way, and that's fine. But in most cases, I feel that a lot of people that play any kind of card game as a whole, I feel that they are also interactive and they're actually generally nice. I've met maybe a couple in my years that I've played, and I don't feel that most of the people that play this game would be more apt to be either mean, cruel, or even pick on those kind of people that are getting introduced, or people that have already been introduced.
So would you say that card games in general, from your perspective on Magic, would be a very open environment for anybody to try?
I would definitely say so. The only restriction onto getting into these kind of card games is that there is, of course, a cost. With any kind of hobby, though, if you're building airplane, you're building RC cars, you're building, even a shed or whatever, any kind of hobby you have always has a cost involved. And one of the things that you have to take that into account, even when you're getting into a game like this. One of the things that we did was, whenever a new person came in, we gave them a ton of free cards and a ton of help and a ton of guidance. We tried to anyways. And I feel that I've done that with both you as well as a lot of other people that I've introduced to the game and they've enjoyed. And that's something that I enjoy, because giving people the ability to get out, experience something like that, and get that social interaction is something that makes me happy. So I'm glad I could help that.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
No problem.